Letter for Mr. President. Dear distinguished Senate President, request for Virement and supplementary 2018 budget. As you are aware, the 2019 general election is scheduled to be conducted early in 2019. To ensure that adequate arrangements are made for free and fair election, it has become necessary to appropriate funds to enable the relevant agencies to commence preparations. INEC and the security agencies have accordingly recently submitted their requests. These have been subjected to the usual budget evaluation. The aggregate cost of the election is estimated at 242,445,322,600. However, in light of the prevailing fiscal constraint, I am proposing that the sum of 164,104,792,065 naira be provided for through Virement or supplementation of the 2018 budget. I propose that the balance of 78,340,530,535 naira, mostly related to personnel allowances, fueling and other costs not required until election proper, be provided in their 2019 budget. The proposal for the 2019 general elections are summarized below. INEC, under 2018 supplementary, 143,512,529,445 naira. Under 2019 budget, 45,695,015,438 naira. Total sum 189,207,544,893 naira. Office of the National Security Advisor. Under 2018 supplementary, 3,855,500,000. Under 2019 budget, 426 million. Under total amount, 4,281,500,000 naira. DSS, under 2018 supplementary, 2,900,000.
Thank you everyone for staying with us. So, when the president said he wanted a Virement or supplementary budget, specifically looking at the critical elections of 2019 and the funding that should be provided. So if you calculate from now till then, it's about 6 months to the February election of next year. So how did we leave it till late? What should we be expecting from the National Assembly based on the proposal from the president? If you look at history of when the budget was passed, it took about 6 months. So will it take that long before the proposal is being approved by the National Assembly? So we got Honorable Azubogu, Deputy Chairman of the Appropriations Committee in the House of Representatives, and a rights activist and a lawyer, Mr. Onyepkere, earlier talking to us, an economist, Mr. Bismarck. Let's get back to the conversation, everyone. Let me quickly ask you, Honorable, that proposal is on your table. A lot of Nigerians will be watching and looking at why this will happen and how it will happen. In 2011, we saw a situation where election was postponed on the day of election, and these kind of issues on the issues of printing and logistics. What are your fears about the presentation of the budget of 2019?
Presentation of a budget for election 2019. This is the time we received it, and you can understand that probably the agencies that are charged with the responsibility had to do all their works to ensure that their proposals will scale through. And having gotten to the National Assembly, like in the House of Rep, we've had the first reading, so we just received the communication from Mr. President. And I think the next step is for second reading before it will be committed to the necessary committees that will handle the scrutinization of the proposals. And I think everybody knowing the importance of the process that is called election will do all they can. Everybody that has the responsibility, especially the National Assembly.
Honorable Azubogu, Honorable, if you look at the politics in the letter sent by the president, it does look like it's telling the lawmakers that hold on to the project you inserted into the 2018 budget and let's use it for something else. Has that happened in the recent history of the National Assembly?
I can assure you that National Assembly will take decision that will be suited for the Nigerian people. And I'm not going to hold brief for them. I'm a member of National Assembly, but it is what will be decided at the Committee of Whole of both houses. We have bicameral legislation, but believe you me, every citizen that knows what it is, every member of National Assembly knows that the responsibility on our laps is very important. So the needful must be done, and it has to be fast. So,
Honorable Azubogu, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic here. For parliamentary process, especially this kind of situation, realistically speaking, how soon can this kind of process get through? The earliest time?
For it to go through the both houses and go through the committees and the scrutinization between the National Assembly and the agencies that are already mentioned by the communication of Mr. President, I think looking at it, if need be, it can be achieved within 6 to 8 weeks.
Mr. Onyepkere, coming in, if you may, please, on this one. What we saw in 2011, where on the day of the election, Professor Atairu Jega had to announce the postponement of the election because on the morning of that election...
So eager to talk.
Please go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Now, please, I am reliably informed, and I believe my colleague here, that in the next couple of days, they will be proceeding on their mid-year legislative break. If I am right, and he's talking about close to 8 weeks, we are having a situation in our hands which is quite troublesome. And like I did say, I sense mischief on the part of the executive. Because it's an election year. The legislators introduced most of these projects to be able to show up their credibility to win re-election, and they're not going to give up easily. I'm not a politician, but I know the politics of what happens in Nigeria. Now, if he says up to 8 weeks, and are proceeding on their legislative break in the next couple of days, so you will be thinking of, and that legislative break lasts for more than 1 month. So the earliest they can get it in is around end of September, and we are discussing an election that with the logistics contracts that have to be issued sometime as soon as possible, and then delivering before December or November so that January, February you can deliver. So there is, I sense mischief all over. Some people will tell me that we are a civil society activist, you're always trying to predict the most negative things, but the facts are clear. National Assembly members are not likely to give up whatever benefits that they have already.
Mr. Onyepkere, I will put you on the spot. Sorry, Mr. Onyepkere, I'll put you on the spot. What are your worst fears in this scenario? Looking at, from your experience, your worst fears as regarding the 2019 election?
Yes, the worst fears is that we are going to have a confusion. We are going to have a situation where the president says, I don't agree to what you do, and National Assembly says we have the power of appropriation. Go to hell. So we are in for a troublesome season. That's my worst fears. Mark my words, and let's see how it unfolds. If these people go for recess in the next 1 week and come back, and constituents will already be disturbing them for what they should have delivered before they get re-elected, mark my words, and let's see how it unfolds.
That is very scary. Let's get Mr. Bismarck reaction on this one quickly before we close the show. Mr. Ruwani, financially speaking, in terms of figures and what we know, what are your worst fears?
My worst fear, this amount is actually 3% of the total budget, 228 billion naira of 9.1 trillion. It's not going to increase, and it will have no economic impact whatsoever. But the necessity of this project, that is the election practice and budgeting for the election, is extremely important. And you have to situate this in the context of the fact that by November, we will have to submit the 2019 budget. So this is part of the 2018 budget environment. I still expect that there will be a supplementary budget to deal with things of minimum wage and subsidies, which was not included in the first budget. This budget is, when you discount for inflation, only provides for 0% growth in expenditure this year. So the economic impact is minuscule, but the logistic inconsistencies and the fact that it can create a problem is what we should be looking at. And especially when you think of the fact that we're going to have to submit another budget for 2019 in November, and the same National Assembly will have to treat the environment, treat the supplementary budget, which I suspect will happen, and treat the 2019 budget all in a period of 6 months in a run-up to an election. This is going to be extremely difficult.
Well, those are worst fears there. We hope that the worst will not happen. You'll be maybe asking the question, why did they leave it till very late? Those are the kind of questions running through my mind. So, and I hope that the three wise men on the program have tried to shed light on some of your fears tonight. But that's how far we can go, everyone. Many thanks for watching. Mr. Bismarck, economist and a friend of the house. Thank you so much for your thoughts on the program tonight. Mr. Onyepkere, always as ever, always delightful to have you on the program. And Honorable Chris Azubogu, Deputy Chairman of the Appropriations Committee and the House of Representatives, thank you so much for your time this evening. That's our show, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimberley. Bye-bye.